fellow diecasters, and welcome to another insane episode here on Diecast Insanity. Thought we'd start a new series today, a series called Getting to Know Hot Wheels, a series where I can come on and parlay some of my information, some of my knowledge over my 50 years of collecting Hot Wheels to you guys, and maybe help out some new collectors out there on certain things about Hot Wheels, like how to date them, how to see differences in castings from like one casting to another, letting them know that, hey, this casting is different from this casting. It's essentially the same casting but different, and all that kind of stuff. And I saw a topic on Facebook yesterday morning. I didn't get back to him because I lost it. I couldn't find it. I think it was on Hot Wheels newsletter or something, about this particular funny car right here and about what year this funny car came from, because he was all confused, because the Tom Arts guide said it was an 82, but the base is stamped 1977, and he was all confused and asking collectors and all that kind of stuff. This car is from 1982, unless it has a 30th anniversary logo on it somewhere, and then it came out in 98. But if it doesn't, it's an 82. Now, like you guys know, dating funny cars is really hard, because the date base is the date that base was first originally used. There's about 5 or 6 different funny car bases throughout the Hot Wheel line, and we'll start showing you guys what they are and how to show all that kind of stuff. So let's start off with this is the first base. This doesn't have the interior piece. This one right here, it should have interior pieces like this one does. But this is the first base. This came out in 70, I believe, on the first funny cars that Hot Wheels produced. The Snake and the Mongoose cars had these bases on them. So the date on this is, I believe the date on this is 69, which means it came out in 70. This right here, this used to be, as you can see, the inside's yellow. This used to be a Boss Hoss, which was all chipped up and all the tempoing was gone, so I repainted it. But this is the last funny car that this base appeared on until the 90s, and we'll get back to that in a little bit. But this was the last funny car to have that base for a while. Then in 77, when this car came out, this used to be the Don the Snake Prudhomme Army car. And all the tempoing was gone on it and everything, so I repainted it and everything. This is the first, and this one's not attached, so I can take the body off of this one. This is the first funny car to have this base, which came out in 78. That's why the date is on the bottom in 79, and it says 77, because this car came out in 78. This was the first funny car to have this base. Now, this base goes from 1977 all the way in to the 90s. This is actually a 1997-98 first edition card. As you can see, it has the same base as that 77 car. Hence, it has the 1977 date on the bottom of it, even though the body is a newer body. Now, the bodies aren't dated. The only thing on the body is the item number for Hot Wheels identification, and in certain occasions, it also will include the place of manufacture, because this one says Malaysia on the bottom of it. Not all of them do that. If you look on the base of this body, it's in the roof. You can see the stamp code in there. So all the funny car bodies have a stamp code on them for Hot Wheels identification purposes. Now, that base runs from, like I said, 1978 all the way into the early 90s and even into the 2000s. The next different base that I can find is off of this car right here, and this is a 2012 first edition. This is the what is that? What do they call this? Funny side up. This is a different base based off of the premium cars. Now, we'll get to that in a minute. It's a little longer than those bases, but it's essentially built the exact same way. Now, I'm not sure, there hasn't been a whole lot of funny car releases in the main line that the body flips up on outside of this one right here. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a new base or what. Now, if you go back and look at the original bases, the original base made a reappearance let's see, I think it was with the 25th anniversary cars, which would have been 94, 95. They brought back this base for the Hot Wheels vintage cars. And as you can see, it is actually stamped on the bottom, Hot Wheels Vintage. And this is one of those Hot Wheels vintage cars. This is a Tom and a Mongoose McEwen funny car. And then that base permeated into the mainline when this came out. And I can't remember the date on this. This has to be early to mid 2000s, I think, mainline. Barracuda. And as you can see, it has the same base with SP, what are these, SP5s, I think is what they're called, or PR5, excuse me, those are PR5s. On the same base, and it's even stamped. This one actually says Snake Hot Wheels Vintage on the bottom of it. So this base is, they're using the base from the vintage cars. Now I haven't seen it again in the main line, but that is more than likely, if you see this car again, it will have that base on it. Now, as you know, when they came out with Drag Strip Demons, most of those funny cars have this base on them, which, as you can see, this looks a lot like the 2012 Funny Side Up base, just shorter. And this came out with Drag Strip Demons in the late 2000s. This has a 2008 date on it, which means 2009, which is like 2009, 2010 is right around the time for Drag Strip Demons. This is the Don the Snake Perdome car. This is #1 from the first run of Drag Strip Demons. And as you know, in the latest edition of the funny cars, any funny cars that Hot Wheels has put out lately, comes in the Team Transporter version in the Snake and Mongoose sets. And this has the same base as the Drag Strip Demons cars did. Hence, it also has a 2008 date on the base of it, which means, you know, that's the first year that this date was made, but this car was produced in 2017. But still, I got mine in 2018. But so that's kind of a little bit of information on funny cars. You can't go by the base. The bases are all dated the first time they were ever used in a casting. That same thing goes for any Hot Wheel. If you look at on the base of the car, like you take the Jaguar XJ 220 that just came out, the orange one, it still has a date of 2000. Has a date of 1998 or 92. Hold on, let me grab mine. So this is the very first edition of the Jaguar XK220. As you can see, it has the see-through rear wing, the only year that ever occurred. And it has a date of 1992. That's right, it came out in 93. If you have the orange one, you'll look at it, it also says 1992. So even though it says 92, that doesn't mean that's when it came out. That's when that car was first produced. You need to know what the color was and the wheel choice, the interior, and the windows were on the first edition to be able to identify your car as a first edition. So that's kind of a little thing to go. Your funny cars are probably really hard because of the date codes on it. Like this right here, this is a 90s car, but it has a date code on it from 1977, but it came out in like 1998. So you need to know that what year that body came out, what was the tempoing on the body, and all that kind of stuff. So you got to remember that any Hot Wheel you have in your collection from 77 to all the way into the 2000s, it'll have a 77 date on the bottom of it, because that's the base they're using, and that they don't change the base codes unless they don't change the base dates unless they redesign the base. And then it'll have a different date, but until then they won't. So just a little information there for you guys, just to give you guys some info on stuff. I'm going to do this every so often when I come up with an idea. If I see something on Facebook or something, somebody asking questions or something, it'll give me a good idea for a video, and I'll come back to you guys and parlay you guys some more information. So if you're having trouble identifying your cars, get a Mike Zarnock Variations book, or get a Tom Arts book. I have a Tom Arts. Mine only goes to 97. I got to get a new one. Or go on Wiki and look up Hot Wheels on Wiki. It's I have found some deviations on there, but it is still a very good place to be able to identify your car by what year it came out if you're not sure about what year that car is. And most of the books, most of the Tom Art book, definitely the Tom Art books and the Mike Zarnock books are very accurate. So what they say is pretty much what it is. So identifying this car as a 1992 is correct. There is a variation on this car, just to give you guys a little information. There is a variation with the headlights that are the same color as the birds on the hood. And then there's one like this one that has the white lights. There's also a cereal box giveaway, which I also have, that has the same tempoing on it, just in different colors. That was a Kellogg's giveaway car. I do have that one as well. But so just a little information. Trying to keep you guys up to date and give you guys some things on how to do things and everything. Be on the lookout for the bi-weekly feature car here momentarily. I'm going to be uploading one of those too. And just have a great week. And remember, leave some on the page for the other collectors in your area, because they want to find some of these cars too. And just keep having fun. Keep your focus on what you want to collect, and just have fun doing it, because that's the most important part. And I'm out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.